It's 8:37, July 13th. As I was saying in one of my documents, another key thing to check out about this COVID dissemination is study epidemiology and then see if the COVID follows the typical patterns of disease spread, transmission, trace it from the source of the disease and see if it's following the typical rate of transmission between people as well as the rate of transmission between different regions. There's certain ways diseases, viruses, etc. behave in nature. And these are natural. Unnatural things that are man-made don't behave the same way as things in nature unless they're mimicked, but some of these guys may have not thought of that. So explore the disease patterns of this COVID spread and see if it follows natural patterns of disease. And if it doesn't, that should tell you it was disseminated, as it wouldn't make sense for a disease to spread and a pandemic to be caused at a certain rate, for example. There's also certain ways diseases travel, and there's modes of transmission. It's aerosolized droplet, there's asymptomatic carriers. See if this rate of transmission fulfills these modes of transmission, and see if it was spreading at an abnormal rate. See if there was people who were asymptomatic carriers or carriers who didn't travel certain places, and then respiratory droplets, it'd be impossible for respiratory droplets to make it to these places, and then see if a disease appeared in certain places where it wouldn't be possible. So that's key to look into. So see if it's following the typical pattern of spread and typical rate of transmission. How's it appearing in some country if no one traveled there with the disease, and then respiratory droplets getting there would be impossible. So that's something key to look into. I'm not an expert at epidemiology, but I'd ask an epidemiologist and get to the details, explore all the details of it, explore the rates of transmission, the modes of transmission. Would it be possible for it to get to place X, Y, and Z from point A, for example? And this sort of jazz. And then that if it's demonstrating an unnatural pattern of spread and transmission, that should tell you that these kids were disseminating with these nano drops they discuss via telepathy and these satellite weapons, as well as whatever they call the wheel, which may have been a disguise for another satellite that they use, that uses an implantation like process, but that's with liquids. So that's key.